Hey, God bless you, and welcome back to the Blessed Not Stressed podcast, the Christian self-improvement motivational podcast. This is episode 41. If you haven't heard the previous episode, I spoke about how to shape 2021 to be a better year. Look, I don't know if you have reflected already in this year. I don't know if you have had these new goals of what you want to accomplish this year to make it better. I don't know if you had a New Year's resolution, but if you haven't written down your goals, I recommend you press pause right now, unless you're driving. I recommend you press pause right now and you start to write down your goals. Look, just by writing down your goals, you're already one step ahead of the average person. So once you write it down, you can begin to create a plan to achieve them. And today I'm going to give you 5 things that you can start doing today to get better. Because if you get better, your life will get better. Let's start with the number 1, and that is the desire to grow. In the 4th episode of this podcast, this was when I was just starting, I decided to, record a preaching that I had done earlier in my church. And the preaching was called Reaching a Fulfilled Life. In fact, that was the first preaching I gave in the English service that we opened up here in Miami. And this was the first time opening up the church. And this was my first time preaching in the new church. And it was about that. It was about how to reach a fulfilled life. And one of the things that I spoke about was the importance of desire. Because I believe that desire is the fuel that you will have, the fuel to go through anything. And in 2021, if you have desire, that will be your fuel for 2021. Whenever you lack desire, think about it. If you have a car and the car has no more gas, even though you want to, you're not going anywhere. But when you have the desire, when you have that passion inside of you, that motivation, you are going to have the fuel to go through the year 2021, and you're going to reflect the year on December 31st, 2021. Look back and you're going to say, man, I am proud of what I have accomplished this year. Look, let me tell you something. This year doesn't have to be like 2020. This year doesn't have to be like 2019. You have the power, the authority to make this year a better year for yourself, for your family, for your ministry, for your business. You have the power to decide today to make a change. I think it was Jim Rohn who said you cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction. And I'm asking you today that if you make the decision to change the direction, you will reach a new destination by the end of this year. And everything is just going to compound, and you're going to see that year 2022 is going to be even easier than this one, and you're going to continue to grow. So let's do this, get yourself motivated. Get the desire that you need. Look deeply into your why, because I believe that if you want to find your desire, you need to find your why. What is the reason behind your goals? What is the reason behind your vision? When you find the reason, the true reason, when you find your why, you have the motivation, you have the desire, you're all fueled up and you're ready to go after whatever gets in front of you. So in this episode, you're going to see that it may last 10 minutes. It may last 15 minutes. But if you want to apply what I'm giving you right now, simply by finding your desire, this will take maybe an hour or hours of solitude, meaning that you need to take the time to reflect and find the desire to create a better life. Napoleon Hill said that if your mind can conceive it and believe it, it can achieve it. But right now, there is so much distractions that you haven't even given yourself the opportunity to conceive new ideas, to conceive a vision, to conceive new goals. When you decide to spend an hour in solitude, and when I mean solitude, I mean you are silencing all distractions. So meaning you can be in a Starbucks and be in solitude, no distractions around you. You're focused on the goal in front of you, which is to find your desire, to find a clear vision. If you can conceive it, the next step means believe it, which will allow you to achieve it. Once again, if your mind can conceive it and believe it, it can achieve it. So the first thing I recommend is start with desire, a desire to grow, a desire to get better. I often say that you need to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. You need to get tired of living the same life. You need to get tired of stumbling over the same rock. You need to get tired of battling the same demons. You need to get tired of the things that are just around you that hold you back. Because once you get tired, you're going to push through all of that Tip number 2, which is time management. Look, I believe it was last week. My trip to Pittsburgh boosted my productivity by 10 times. Now, although I was there as part of my job, and let me tell you something, I did go out, I did go bowling, I did go have dinner, I did do all these things, but I was still productive because I heard that what gets scheduled gets done, and I made sure to schedule my time of reading, reflecting, and learning. So what you need to do is you need to take inventory of your time. All you need is a piece of paper to track your time. From the moment you woke up to the moment you went to sleep, what did you do every hour? This will give you awareness, and awareness will give you clarity, and you're going to find that maybe you spend 2 hours on Facebook, maybe you spend 4 hours on Netflix, maybe you spend, just watching YouTube videos, but having this awareness will allow you to make the decision to move these things aside, to say, you know what, instead of spending 2 hours, I'm going to spend 1 hour. Instead of spending 4 hours, I'm going to spend 2 hours, and will give you the clarity to take out an hour daily to grow. 1 hour dedicated to yourself, to strengthen yourself, to calibrate yourself. 1 hour dedicated to your learning, dedicated to your growth. And all this happens when you have time management. Time management gives you awareness, which gives you clarity, which allows you to make better decisions, and which will allow you to see changes in your life. The third tip I give you is to install a new habit. Right now, I am in the process of installing a new habit, which is waking up at 5 a.m. And, it's been already 2 weeks. And I started this year, so I started January this month. And it's already been 18 days. And I believe out of those 18 days, I woke up maybe 13 times. Meaning I've lost 5 days. But I've woken up 13 times at 5 a.m. And what I do is that I wake up, I begin to reflect, I begin to review my goals, I journal, I read a daily devotional, I begin to read a book, or I start listening to a course or some YouTube videos, but I just dedicate that hour to grow. I take my dog out, I go for a walk with him, and it's crazy the tranquility that you find at 5 a.m. Nobody is awake. Now, what motivated me to install this habit is when I heard Robin Sharma say that while everybody is asleep, you are working to get better. You are working to create a world-class life. So that is the new habit that I am installing this year. I also did it because I heard that Robin Sharma calls it the mother of all habits. Once you get this done, you will allow yourself to install other new habits. So right now, that's what I'm working, but I recommend you start working on something as well. What is the one habit that you can develop this year that would allow you to get better? And let me tell you something. It's going to be hard at first. Robin Sharma says that it is hard at first, messy in the middle, but gorgeous at the end. But that means that after 6 days, after studies that they have done, after 66 days, you're going to reach automaticity, which means that it will be automatic, which will give you the opportunity to develop a new habit. So that doesn't mean that you're going to struggle with this for the rest of the year. You're going to do it maybe for the next 2 months. But after that, you will reach automaticity, which will allow you to create a new habit. I recommend for you to install new habits. Like I mentioned in the previous episode, it's not that you don't have any habits. You do have habits right now. Maybe you have the habits of eating more than what you need, or you have the habit of sleeping more. You have the habit of hitting the snooze button. You have the habit of drinking maybe 4 Cokes a day. There's just habits that are not good. Install a new habit, a habit that will help you get better. Now, the fourth tip I want to give you is to start the day with gratitude. As you start your day, thank God for what you have. Thank Him for His goodness, His love, His mercy. Thank Him because you woke up next to your family, because you have a roof over your head. I once heard someone say that if there is one lesson he can teach to someone who wants to succeed, is to start and end the day with gratitude. Starting your day with gratitude allows you to remember God's blessings every day. And I spoke about this in the very first episode. It is when you forget God's blessings that you begin to walk in fear rather than in faith. So start and end the day with gratitude. Tip number 5 is to grow daily. And that is part of my habit right now, waking up at 5 a.m. I allow myself to have 1 hour to grow daily. Every 10 minutes you spend reading, or every 5 minutes you spend praying, adds up to your growth. After you're done reading for 10 minutes, you don't feel like you did a lot, but guess what? All of this compounds. You continue to do this every single day. You're going to realize that after 2 weeks, maybe you're done reading the book. You're going to realize that you're growing spiritually. Nobody goes to sleep measuring 4 feet and then waking up measuring 5 feet. But every single day, you grow a little more. You don't see it in the beginning, but you're going to see it eventually. Grow daily. I have shared with you what I do to grow daily. But maybe you want to start reading a book. Look, there are many books that I recommend, and I'm going to go over 5 of the next books that I will be reading right now. But I also recommend you start reading the Bible. The Bible is going to nurture you, is going to allow you to grow as well and grow spiritually. And you're going to find so many treasures in the Bible, things that you can apply to your life immediately to see changes. So I recommend the Bible, but also enroll yourself in an online course. Listen to another podcast, listen to this podcast, listen to another podcast, but do something to grow daily. So those are the 5 tips. Number 1, you need to have a desire to grow. Number 2, you need to work on your time management. Number 3, install a new habit. Number 4, start the day with gratitude. And the 5th tip, grow daily. To wrap this episode up, I want to share with you the next 5 books that I will be reading. I just finished right now Celebration of Discipline, and I shared before that I want to read 24 books this year, and that means that I need to read 2 books a month. I already finished Celebration of Discipline. Right now I'm reading The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. The next book that I will be reading, though, is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor E. Frankl. Now, the reason I got this book is because I was listening to a motivational video by Les Brown, and as he was giving his motivational speech, he mentioned that this book helped him a lot. And one of the things that I like to do is once I hear these people giving speeches and whenever I hear them recommend a book, I write it down. Because if that book helped them, I want to grab whatever it is that they grabbed and I want it to help me as well. So I'm going to be reading Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor E. Frankl. I'm also going to read The One Thing. I'm reading also by Simon Sinek, Leaders Eat Last. And I want to write a new book in regards to failure. So I'm reading 2 books about that. Failing Forward by John C. Maxwell and How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big. Those are the 5 books that I will be reading. I hope one of them you want to pick them up. Hey, if you want to start reading my book, Walk Toward Your Calling, you can get it for free at my website, didierdarris.com. That is it for today. 2021 is a year of opportunities. You have a chance to change your life. God bless you and be blessed, not stressed.